Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Highly Suspicious Podcast with Louie and Preston. My name is Louie.
My name is Preston.
We're reporting once again live from the Trap House. We're doing back-to-back recordings right now because I'm about to be out of town for the next week.
An infamous trip.
Should be cool. Hopefully.
Louie's a traveled man,
I've
a sightseer.
I've been around the block a few times. You know what I'm saying?
Travel blogger.
I still think we should do an episode remote sometime.
For sure. Absolutely. I'm going camping this summer. If you are down to spend like 2 nights out in the woods, if you can do that for me, pull it together and do that for me.
Pull it together, man.
Because I know you're anti-outdoors sometimes.
I
want to stay somewhere with some water. Like, on a lake, chilling.
I thought you meant with running water, and I was about to be like, ooh.
That'd be fun, too. River would be cool. But there is a lake in Indiana that I've been thinking of, like, be a cool spot to camp on, go swimming, that kind of shit.
Cool. Today, we are going to talk about the biggest piece of shit social media platform on the face of the planet. What are you going to talk about, Louie? Are you going to talk about TikTok?
Would you call it a social media platform? That's an interesting way of putting it. I don't disagree with you.
I'm talking about Spotify today. So, Preston was looking at me funny because I was calling it a social media platform. So, it's becoming more and more social media-like over time.
True.
It's become more influencer-based. You know, everyone's got their own individual playlists. You could probably find, like, Maria Menounos' personal hype playlist or, Jenna Ortega's fucking sad girl music playlist. Like, and they have a bunch of stuff now that they didn't used to have. It's less about the
Spotify
music now
rap
than it used to
alone is such a, social wave. Very big deal every year for some people. I kind of thought it would be just a fad. It has not gone away as quickly as I might have thought.
Bruh, is this yours? I think it is.
Might be. Where was yours?
Right here.
Dumbass.
For you all that can't see us right now, if you all aren't watching the secret camera recorded video podcast that we're doing right now.
The one that the feds have.
I was just drinking out of Preston's beer because I'm a dumbass. And I do stuff like that.
They look similar enough. They're both mason jar-esque.
What's Spotify doing to become even more like a social media platform? They are following the trend of Instagram and YouTube and all of these other platforms that are trying to be like TikTok. There's going to be a TikTok mode on Spotify.
What do you mean?
So,
the fuck do you mean?
It's going to be called
make any sense.
The quote-unquote new music discovery feed. So, basically, the idea of this is you'll scroll through a bunch of shit like TikTok and
it'll just play you.
It's going to be like a 5-second clip of songs.
The way that we enjoy music is different from a lot of people, but I still can't understand how that would appease to someone. Like, that sounds horrible to me. Also, think about how often you're going to like a song on there, and then you're going to just be going and listening to the full version. If they are going to implement something like that, there needs to be a button for just automatically playing the full version instead of just a 5-second clip where you can double tap it and it'll play the full version automatically.
So I think it does have that option.
Button.
I think it has the option to press play on the shit.
That still says a lot about our society, though. If you need 5-second clips to enjoy new music instead of I make playlists all the time, and I will take recommendations from Spotify. But I can't just listen to a song for a few seconds and know whether or not I like it. It's like that Kendrick song that we talked about recently. and it's that first bit is goofy and weird as fuck, nobody's gonna listen to the first even like minute of that song and know what the fuck's going on and like care enough to listen through it.
Right.
But if you just listen through an album or like listen through the full song, give the full song a shot, then you're actually gonna know.
So real quick, have you ever been put on a song from like a short clip, maybe not a TikTok, but like maybe like a Reels or like something that's been edited, like
Reels
a YouTube
are just
video?
kind of like TikToks these days.
For all intents and purposes.
Yes, I have.
And I have too. So let's get that out there. I'm not acting like
it's impossible to hear 5 seconds of a song but and know if it's good or not. Some songs are that good.
Tell me if you had this experience. Have you ever listened to a 5-second clip of a song and be like, oh, that's kind of catchy or whatever, and then you go to the full song, and that's the best part of the whole song, and the rest of the song is fucking shitty?
Yeah. Well, or when a TikTok song just blows up and it's on the radio and you can't escape it. You know? That's just torture for me.
Like that Blue song.
Yeah, exactly.
Why am I talking about this? Why do I care so much that Spotify is doing this when TikTok, YouTube, Instagram, all these other platforms are already doing it? Well, I'll tell you why I care. Because this gives even more incentive for artists to make music in a way where you can take a 5-second clip and be able to put people on that way.
Yeah.
Music is going to become even more
about
one-dimensional.
Just like a catch, yeah.
Because Spotify is
going to reward it, and
app.
It's so large. It's like the music app. Like, otherwise it's Apple Music, or like some people do just listen to the radio. Those are old fucking people. That's ugly.
Yeah, Spotify and Apple Music are the main ones outside of
Pandora. Do you know anybody that used to use Pandora?
I used to use Pandora.
I used to use Pandora too.
And it was kind of lit because
it was okay.
You would the ads would fucking suck, but you could put on a radio and then you would play. So you would find some shit that you never heard before, and you'd be like, this shit is tough.
It was like good. It was just not. It's not Spotify.
Spotify recommendations are so shitty.
Spotify has access to so much. You know, that's kind of part of it too. It's just like the Disney or like Apple sort of thing. Where it's just like all this shit's exclusive to one service. Then most people are gonna have to have that fucking service. We're all just simple monkey see, monkey do motherfuckers. Like, if everybody around you has Spotify, you're gonna be like, damn, I need Spotify too. What is Pandora? What are you talking about? Some people might not know what we're talking about if I'm like, oh yeah, I used to have Pandora. Yeah. Some people are gonna be like, what the fuck are they talking about?
So, let me talk about something even worse with Spotify. Because the TikTok shit is whatever, you know. Yeah. I don't fuck with it at all. But that's not what I was pissed off about just now when I was talking about Spotify.
That's one of those, like, if you don't like it, don't use it things. So it is avoidable. Yeah. But they will just make random changes that affect the whole system. Like, the music recommendations over time have gotten way worse. It has to be the system that they've put in place for music recommendations. Yeah. Whoever's, like, paying the most money for getting recommended or some shit like that, you know?
I'm so glad you said that. So, Spotify officially announced Discovery Mode.
Interesting.
In exchange for lower royalty rates, artists can use the program to gain more algorithmic exposure through Spotify, radio, and autoplay.
Louis, how did I read your mind? I literally haven't even heard about this before.
Is that not the most bullshit fucking thing you've ever heard? That pisses me off.
That is
wild. On multiple levels.
They're screwing over artists, basically, to make fans. Which I guess if you're new, that could be useful. Because it's not like you have to pay money, you just take a smaller cut. And it's already kind of a small cut from Spotify. You know, like...
It's a very small cut already.
Yeah, exactly. Pennies. People do not make big money. Like, they can make a career
on a penny.
But yeah, it's crazy.
I've had conversations with this about this with other people, and I have said before that I think that Spotify kind of hurts smaller artists. It gives you access to smaller artists for exposure to listen to them in that way. A bunch of artists that you might not have heard of in a different era where you'd have to hear them on the radio or buy the CD to listen to them. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But just like you were saying, the rich keep getting richer with this shit. The people on the top are able to make some good money off of their streams because they're getting millions of streams on certain songs, as opposed to smaller artists who are getting, 1/10 of a penny,
True.
maybe 1 million times if they're lucky with like their biggest song.
What was I gonna say? I was gonna say that the sort of, it's another one of those, like, our society becomes pay to play at some point. That's just kind of the end result of capitalism for most things, is if you want success in this thing, give me more fucking money. I have offered this free miniature service, and now if you want access to more, you have to take an L.
Yeah. So, let's think. I want to talk about the economics of this. But before I get into some more complex shit, I want to say just on the surface level that I think Spotify kind of got this idea from Elon Musk.
Yeah.
Because that was a new Twitter thing that you could basically pay
for promotion.
Pay for better algorithmic coverage in Twitter. And people were barring Elon then that, like, this is a stupid idea, and if you're actually promoting free speech, then why are you making it a money game? Why are you making it a pay-to-play thing? That's not what fucking freedom of speech is. But despite that being a terrible move by Twitter, and everyone knows it, it kind of set precedent where
that it's an
Spotify can do some shit like this, and
it'll probably work out better for Spotify, too.
It not be, like, groundbreaking. Like, this is the first time we've seen something like this.
Yeah.
To talk about...
Legally interesting, too.
Mm-hmm.
Business-wise, how much of a cut for a little bit of promotion? It's already not money enough for anything to matter because it's fractions of a penny.
But
Louis, what if we took the L for some promotion?
I mean, shit, we might do it.
We could.
Fuck, I just realized that we're posting this on Spotify and we're talking shit about Spotify.
It's like when John Oliver talks shit about HBO.
Yeah. That's always
It feels
so
exactly
funny.
like that.
We're fighting the man. So
fuck you, Dad.
So what if Apple Podcast promotes this episode
because
and
we're
Spotify
smacking
demotes it and it ends up balancing out?
What's something bad we can say about Apple Music so that it neutrals
it's
out?
even?
Yeah.
So we get demonetized on every platform? I don't know.
And then we can be one of those people that's like, the mainstream media doesn't fuck with us.
I don't know. Steve Jobs kind of looks like a pussy in his turtleneck. I don't know what I could really say. Besides, Apple are made of...
He's actually not
devices.
that smart. That's my take.
He's the Elon Musk of the 2000s. Okay, let's move on. I want to talk about the economics of this Spotify thing. Because I think that it's pretty obvious what this is going to do. And I think that people aren't even thinking about it because they're just like, this is stupid or whatever. They're not thinking about, like, big picture, like, what this is actually going to do.
Mm-hmm.
Who is going to be able to afford to take the pay cut? Is it going to be smaller artists or
who
bigger
already
artists?
don't need, like, have the money, so it's not that big of a deal? I understand that, and it's realistic, but it's also the people that kind of need it. And then for larger artists, it's totally likely that they'll just be able to take a bigger cut out of it because they don't even, like, care.
So it could go that way. And I see what you're saying because the smaller artists do need the exposure more than the bigger artists. But the bigger artists are making so much money off of other shit, off of touring, off of merchandise, off of vinyl sales.
Mm-hmm.
They're making money off of a ton of shit. Versus the smaller artist who doesn't have the same amount of income coming in. So, what I can foresee happening, the bigger artists taking the pay cut, and then the smaller artists are kind of gonna have their hand forced to take the pay cut.
Yeah.
It's
just to try to get a leg up on those bigger artists.
And who's going to have more staying power? Who's going to have more fucking money in their corner to be able to survive that and weather that storm?
Yeah.
Not the fucking small artist. It's going to be like the Walmart effect, where there's a Walmart that moves into your town.
Yeah, and everything else is fucked.
And they're offering, like, better prices than these mom and pop shops.
Yeah, or
so
like
the mom and pop shops have to.
Dollar store does that a lot. Or like Dollar General.
Same thing.
They do that way more intensely than any. This is actually a fact. Like I learned this recently.
Yeah.
Walmart does that, and it's bad because they have a lot of options. But dollar stores, Family Dollars, Dollar Generals, all those motherfuckers come in there, and they actually give the impression of being a better deal, but it is not always a better deal. Sometimes, like, yes, for some stuff, they're selling you at a decreased value, but for some other bullshit, they'll jack it up, but it'll still be $1. So it's still the dollar store.
Yeah.
And honestly, now with inflation, it's not even the dollar store. It's like $1.25.
Yeah.
$1.50 almost.
Dollar Tree kind of fell off because they used to have everything actually $1, but now they don't.
Some are good, some are bad now, which is very interesting.
But basically what that does, the Dollar General or the Walmart or whatever example you want to use, they have more liquidity than the mom and pop shops. They have more pricing power than the mom and pop shops. They can get shit for cheaper than the mom and pop shops already. So they're still making the same amount of money, or more money, even if they have
$1.
the same prices. So
it's only $1 on paper.
That drives the mom and pop shops out of business, and I can see it being the same fucking thing with music, with this bullshit fucking predatory way to get money.
Yeah. It really is predatory. That's a good way to put it. That's one of those words that puts perspective on something. And it really is just to take advantage of people. Anything that's paid to play takes advantage of people. Because it goes for, like, base desires to just, like, if you're a struggling artist, you're gonna want to do whatever you can to make sure that more people see your music.
Yeah.
And if it's taking a cut on money that you don't already have, that seems like a good deal at the time.
Yeah. Think about it. You can think about it in any terms. If someone was fucking selling weed and someone was selling the shit for, like, you know, $5 a gram, you can't compete with that. You either have to lower your prices or you have to be fucked. You know, that's kind of how it works. So eventually there's going to be an equilibrium with the shit where everybody is going to be on the algorithm shit. Because you got to think too, being favored by the algorithm could very easily equate to the same amount of money. It would probably equate to the same amount of money if you're getting more streams, but you're getting paid less. Isn't that fucked up? It would literally be a lateral move. It wouldn't help you.
Yeah. I mean, it's just another one of those, like, companies do what they can because they can. Like, who's going to hold them accountable? Fucking nobody. And it's one of those, like, it's not even illegal. It's just manipulative. It's just, it's bad business because it's sort of, has this sort of, like, icky, you know, slimy business sort of feeling to it.
Yeah, it definitely does.
Like, I wouldn't feel comfortable having a contract with somebody that was like that. You take this L, but I will tell more people about you. and you have to do it because bigger artists than you can totally do it.
It's like when artists get bullied online because people are like, can you do shit for free for exposure? That's basically the same fucking thing. Like, you're asking people to work for basically nothing.
Yeah, already.
And the only reason they're able to get away with it is because that's the way of the world right now. People don't buy CDs anymore. People don't purchase digital albums anymore.
Yeah.
We are evolved past all of that. We stream shit now because somehow it's more worth it to pay Spotify than pay the artist. I just can't do that,
Thanks.
man. I just don't fuck with it at all. So, fuck you, Spotify. Please give us algorithm support.
Mm-hmm.
If they do this deal with podcast, I'm doing it. I don't give a fuck. I'm not getting paid anything from Spotify anyway.
Sure.
So,
How many like streams does something have to have for it to even make a penny, Louis?
Google it. Google how much streaming is.
I'm gonna say how many streams to make $1.
That'll be even more.
$1 on Spotify. That's not as bad as I thought it would be.
How many streams?
229 to make $1 on Spotify.
Yeah, that's not that bad.
It's the same on Amazon Music as well.
Nice. So you'd have to listen
That's
to...
so fucked.
You'd have to listen to something...
It's like 4 cents per 10 streams.
You'd have to listen to something like 2,000 times to have it make $10.
Yeah.
Which is what albums were worth at one point. If I played a 10-minute song, would you be pissed?
I would love it.
I'ma just box these niggas and throw away the keys. I throw away the keys like a Coast Guard watching me. I throw away the keys, I throw away the keys, I throw away the keys. Better watch these niggas. On God. 5th year with the DOC. You can see what the COC. Robocop out here COP. 3 hots in the COT. Lived in a small town this whole life. Never left like sounding like the whole right. Either working at the prison or it's no lights. In the system working with the pole lights. In the prison stripping niggas phone rights. Got a malice. On the other side of the bars, watch your niggas get smart, watch your niggas get strong, watch your niggas get home, he jealous. But deep down, he jealous. With each sweep down, he tell us. With each beat down, he help us. Wrong one, gon' knock his ass out, though. That's why he gotta...
You just listened to Prisoner 1 and 2 by Lupe Fiasco. Preston, were you expecting a 10-minute song?
I didn't even notice that it was 10 minutes, honestly.
Magnum opus about the prison system and capitalism. Were you expecting me to drop all that on you right
He talks about that shit more on that album, so I was not surprised.
Uh-huh.
I love Lupe Fiasco for doing shit like that because it's good and he makes it sound real pretty.
Here's an interesting thing about this before we even go deeper into this, just because I'm on Genius right now. Do you catch that vocal clip at the very beginning of the song where someone says, the king, when you're the king of African music, you're the king because music is the king of all professions? There was like a vocal sample like in the beginning of the song right now. That was Fela Kuti.
Oh shit.
That's
funny.
Who Preston's brought to the show before, and I didn't even know. I've heard of him before that, but I never listened to any of his shit or knew really anything about him before Preston brought him to the show. So it's interesting that was a detail in here that I just didn't even know.
That's cool. That makes me know that Lupe Fiasco listens.
He's on the level.
Yeah,
for
same
sure.
shit as me. That's quite flattering.
So, I'm sure you didn't get a lot of that on first listen.
No. It's a mouthful.
Because Lupe's rapping like, let me see.
Like his life depends on it throughout this song,
3.
honestly. It's a long song. There's a lot to listen to.
There's 3 verses, and there's 2 hooks, And then there's another 3 verses in the second part of the song. Another 2 verses, sorry. So it's a fucking lot of rapping in that song.
Yeah.
But just to go through some of the highlights, in the first half of the song, he's talking from the perspective of like a prisoner. He's talking about like how somebody is peacefully protesting and they get locked up and thrown in the can. And he's talking about all the fucked up shit that goes on behind the walls. He's I don't think he's ever been to prison, but he's close to a lot of people that are in prison.
He talks about Guantanamo in this album as well.
More specifically, though, his manager that he had before he had his first album, even, he's been locked up for possession and, intent to distribute for like 30 years. That was like in like 2006, 2007. So just when Lupe was starting
holy shit,
to make waves on the scene, his partner's gotten locked up. So he has a very personal relationship to how fucked up the prison system is in general. But he says all this crazy shit in this song, in this first part of the song, where he's talking about how now he doing double life while his wife is living a double life.
Mm-hmm.
Her wife is living it up on the outside. She's not in jail, so she can do whatever the fuck she wants. But she's still going to be fucking married to bro and stuff like that. She can't change that, right? But,
bro, some of these lyrics are nuts.
He says, new approach might help me bowl better. New hoes might help me get a hold together. Or will a new lane lead him to the same pin, and the hunger strike in him to the same tin.
Mm-hmm.
That shit is crazy. That whole bowling scheme is crazy. Because he's talking about approach, bowl, and then lane, pin, and strike. Just effortlessly. Just like it's fucking nothing. And then he's talking about going fucking insane on the inside. But I think the craziest part of this song is the second half, where it goes to the second prisoner that they're talking about in the song, which is the corrections officer, the people that are working at the prison.
Yeah.
He's talking about how they're put in a position where they have to, discipline and do, run shit like a jail, or they won't have lights on in their house. So he's saying all this crazy shit about how he's jealous of the inmates because eventually they'll get to go home, and he has to work in this jail forever, basically. So he's kind of talking about how capitalism as a whole is like prison.
Mm-hmm.
He's making a bigger metaphor about prison.
Good, song to have a little bit of Fela Kuti at the beginning, too, because he was also very anti-capitalism.
Mm-hmm.
And anti-imperialism.
And that obviously translates in his music.
Yeah.
For sure. And the bridge in the song is Lupe's sister, who does a lot of poetry.
Yeah.
She does it on a lot of intros to albums.
That's awesome.
But this is one of the few times where she wasn't in the intro. She was in the bridge between these two songs on this. So she says that she says a bunch of poetic shit, but she's basically repeating that this is the new Jim Crow.
Yeah.
And it's between the two songs. So in a way, she's talking about the protester who's in jail forever getting fucked in the ass and getting put in solitary and losing his mind.
Yeah.
And after that's the fucking song about the prison guard who's forced to work and, you know, treat his other brothers like fucking shit.
Yeah.
And that makes him feel terrible. So, in a way, she's saying that about both parts of the song. That's the connecting thing.
Mm-hmm.
That's kind of corny, but it's a
accurate.
bridge that connects the
Yeah.
two parts of the song.
It's just very head on.
Yeah.
It's not, I wouldn't say corny, but it is very
Obvious. I just meant it was corny that I was saying it like that.
That it was this important. No, it is important. It's a very important part of the song. And it does make a very strong point. For a 5-minute song. Or not 5 minutes. 10? It's 8 minutes, 30 seconds on here.
10 for all intents and purposes. Almost 10.
I rounded down, Louis rounded up. There is a lot of talking in here.
Yeah.
There is like a good intro in shit. And it is a little repetitive, but repetitive in a good way. In an important, impactful way.
Because both the hooks are crazy because he's talking from the perspective of the...
And there's enough of a vibe switch, too, throughout it for it to not feel too long.
That change really...
It feels like
makes
2
it
songs
good.
at some point.
Yeah.
Which is good.
It basically is.
Yeah.
But it's one song, so... But,
if you're going to do a long song, though, it should be structured as 2 that work really well together.
Yeah, there should be some change up in a song that long.
Yeah.
For real. But in one hook, he's talking about, from the perspective of the corrections officer, you better watch him. If it was up to me, I would never want to unlock him. He said that he wants to box him and throw away the key like the Coast Guard's watching me. So that's kind of a crazy line because, like, you know, when you're smuggling drugs into the country, the Coast Guard sees you, that you throw the key away. That's kind of what they were saying. But in the first hook, he's saying, like, love is looking over various errors, and hate is habitually accelerating terror. So he's saying that the difference between how the prison system should be and how it actually is like the difference between love and hate.
Yeah.
It's fucking opposite. Okay, we can move on. Because I could
that's really
talk about
that's
this
very
shit forever.
real. Yeah.
But yeah.
Because there are alternative prison systems in the world, and they are 100% about therapy and actual rehabilitation.
Yeah.
Than punishment.
But America doesn't believe in that.
Yeah.
We don't believe in...
I think it's, honestly, this is one of those hot takes. I'm going to blame it on the Christians. I'm going to say that America being founded by a bunch of Christians like punishment. Christians like self-punishment, even. So it would make sense that because Christians founded this nation, that our correction system and that our government is heavily influenced already by religion, would be influenced by religion as well.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, hey, back in Jesus' day, everybody loved a good stoning, you know?
Right.
Public hangings, when you had nothing to do back in the, 1800s.
Yeah.
Shit.
I also think it's interesting that America was, a prison colony.
Kind
in
of.
some places.
Yeah.
So, the fact that the prison's so different now than from when this country was founded.
Yeah, it was just
where
fuck
it was
it.
literally like, okay,
We
go
just-
into the wild and chill. You're allowed to do your thing, but you're
not allowed in society,
Not allowed in
yeah.
our society anymore. And that'd
be lit.
They did something.
Some
good.
people would be screwed, but that's just how life is.
We're the descendants of some of those people. Isn't that crazy to think about?
Yeah. That's why we're similar to Australia in some ways.
Yeah.
We all like alcohol and guns.
Australia's wild.
It is wild.
Probably not as wild as here.
It's if you added more dangerous animals and made it 100 degrees in America all the time.
I don't want to go to Australia, but it's kind of...
Yeah.
The animals kind of freak me out.
It's a little iffy. It's a long-ass flight, Louis.
Fuck, too long.
Yeah.
That's about as far as you could
go
fly,
from here. Yeah.
Right. Like, you could fly very much further in the world.
Antarctica.
Antarctica wouldn't be that far, because you could just go straight down.
Just down.
That's going to be...
Downshift.
That's going to be me tomorrow. It's going to be, I-65 all the way down.
Kind of.
I-65 south. Okay. What else? Here's a headline. A 39-year-old woman has been sentenced to 12 months in jail after she was filmed cutting up and eating her daughter's hamster.
Excuse me?
You can't make this shit up. Someone replied...
Let me read that again. No. Filmed? Why was it filmed?
She doesn't even look guilty. She's like, I'm glad I did that.
Yeah.
She
looks crazy. She looks like she'd eat a hamster.
I love the picture of the hamster, too. He looks so scared.
They showed that hamster a picture of that lady.
I like to think that picture of the hamster's from the film. Someone replied, I'd like to buy this movie, please.
I want to see if I can find this video out in the ether.
Someone replied with the meme, he was winning and I got mad. It's this guy playing Uno with a chicken, and then the next frame is a bunch of fried chicken. And someone posted that meme and they were like, this is probably what happened.
Holy shit. Oh my god. It's only a still. I know I'm not going to be able to find the whole video, but...
I gotta see this still.
Look at that. She's got the big gulp, or whatever the fuck that is, and the fucking hamster, and she's putting that hamster in her mouth, and she's got the drink ready.
I hope she cooked it. Is it fucked up that that's what I'm thinking about? I hope she cooked it. The image of her fucking just eating raw hamster that was alive 2 seconds ago, that's fucking nasty. I can't imagine a hamster would taste that good. Maybe she was hungry, bro.
It was posted on social media.
I say free her. Let her go. She didn't mean it. Give the damn little girl another hamster. She'll be fine.
Exactly. Why do you gotta make it a whole thing? Arrest her mom. You just get a new one and pretend like it's the old one, even though it's a totally different color.
The only difference between this story and all the non-stories of a bunch of rednecks in the woods eating squirrels is that the hamster was someone's pet. And that
maybe it was and maybe it was alive and not cooked when she ate it.
Well,
that's a big difference.
If it was cut up, it wouldn't be fucking alive.
Yeah. I mean, like, somebody biting off the head of, like, a squirrel, Louis, is not the same. Because, yes, that is somebody's pet. It's kind of the same. It's kind of the same, but it's kind of not. Honestly, though,
I'm just playing devil's advocate. It's gross either way.
It is gross either way.
I just don't know why that's a story, except for the shock factor.
Big shock value. She was apparently a drug addict. Drugs will make you do things like, I guess, eat your your daughter's hamster.
I know weed doesn't do that.
Yeah, exactly.
Meth,
exactly
maybe.
Her point. How much alcohol to eat a hamster?
Bro, not enough.
There's not enough alcohol in the world.
I'd have to be blacked out, and it would also have to be like a post-apocalyptic situation where there's no other thing to eat.
Would you be... Okay, listen. I think a better example, guinea pigs. People in Brazil eat guinea pigs.
It's the same shit.
It is kind of the same shit.
The only difference is they're not pets.
Honestly, I'm also imagining Hamsters that she did it in front of her daughter, and that is kind of worse.
Mommy, no! Jesus. Oh my god.
Like, the video quality and the angle, almost, I'm like, damn, she told her kid, hold the phone, watch this.
Hold my beer.
She snatched that poor hamster up.
A hamster's a stupid pet. Is that a hot take?
I think most people who have had a hamster will agree. But some people are crazy about their pets. You know? Some people definitely have hamsters and are not children. And that's not normal. That's a hot take.
Very hot.
Just being like, you know what? You're fucking weird if you have a hamster and you're not 12. I had a hermit crab. I'm glad I don't have a hermit crab anymore because that'd be a weird pet for an adult as well.
I've bossed up to axolotls. I'm in a different plane.
That's kind of like those weird people that have a pet lizard. Like, those people are always kind of weird.
Yeah. Or like a pet snake.
Yeah.
I'm just scared of snakes, so I wouldn't fuck with that. I wouldn't fuck with that on any level, even if it was a good pet. Even if that motherfucker would go fetch for me, I wouldn't fuck with it. So I'm biased. That could be the most well-behaved snake in the world. I don't care. Can't trust him. It's like the story with the scorpion and the frog going across the river.
What?
You've never heard that?
I've never heard that one.
Where
have you heard this one?
Where a scorpion's trying to get across the river, and it convinces a frog to get on his back, and then halfway across, the scorpion stings the frog.
Scorpion's like, fuck it. We're in the middle of this river, but I'm feeling a little stingy.
And the frog was like, you've killed us both, basically, for no fucking reason. And the scorpion said some shit like, it's in my nature.
Yeah, he's like, well, I at least got to sting you.
That's the nature of a scorpion. Even if it ends to its demise, it's not going to stop it from being a scorpion. I kind of feel that way about a snake. Can't trust it.
No matter what.
I wouldn't be able to sleep at night if there was a snake in here.
Or you thought you heard a snake? Or wait.
Wake up in a cold sweat.
Live somewhere where there are snakes and you could just think that there's a snake in here. Like, there's just the possibility. Because snakes live where you live.
Speaking of Australia, have you seen that one video where the guy finds the giant snake in his toilet?
I have seen snakes come out of the toilet before. That is one of the scariest thoughts. I have actually been in Florida and kind of thought about, if something really just popped out of the toilet,
it's a wrap.
Yeah. How fucked am I?
I'm going to be standing on top of a chair like I'm a fucking puss. I don't care. I'm not doing it.
Not trying to die.
Yeah. So shit like that happens when I'm in Florida, I'm going to be the least equipped to do anything about it.
Is that all the time we have this week? I think it is. We will be back next Friday. Special guest, maybe, hopefully. This has been a while. I will drag one of you out there. You know who you are. You will be in the studio on the next episode. Be ready. Carl, it's probably you. Or Pierce. Link in bio as always. Be sure to click that little bell wherever the fuck you're listening to this.
To be fair, we recorded 3 episodes in less than 2 weeks.
Yeah. Kind of impressive.
That's kind of crazy. All right, goodbye, y'all. Have a safe spring break last week.
Yeah, true.